All right, let's get right into it. If you're a solo event planner and you feel like you're constantly buried under a mountain of work, then this is for you. We're about to talk about how you can use technology to completely transform your business, to go from a one-person show to a full-on systems architect who operates like a 10-person agency. Yeah, you heard that right. Let's do this. So, does this sound familiar? You're spending hours, and I mean hours, manually tracking RSVPs, writing the same vendor emails over and over again, and trying to keep a dozen different spreadsheets updated. Every single minute you waste on those repetitive tasks is a minute you're not getting paid for your actual creative work or your strategy. It is without a doubt the single biggest killer of your productivity and, frankly, your profit. And that really just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? In this market, being efficient isn't just a nice to have. It's not just about saving a little time. It's about how you make money. So the choice is pretty simple, right? You can either keep grinding away at the manual labor, or you can become a systems architect. So how in the world do we actually do that? Well, we're going to walk through 5 key pillars. First up, we're going to build your business a central brain. Then we'll unleash your AI copilot. Third, we're putting your business on autopilot. Fourth, we are going to master the hybrid event. And last but not least, we're going to build unbreakable client trust. Okay, let's start with the foundation. Your business needs a brain, a single central place where all of your most important data lives. Because honestly, the biggest enemy to scaling your business is fragmentation. When you've got information scattered across a million disconnected files and folders, it's a nightmare. And this slide just lays it out so clearly. The old way? It's chaos. You've got different spreadsheets for your budgets, your guests, your vendors. You're never sure which version is the right one. The new way is what we call a single source of truth, using relational databases. So imagine this. A guest changes their meal choice on their RSVP form. In this new system, that automatically updates the catering report in real time. No more manual changes. That is the kind of power we're talking about. All right, on to our second pillar, unleashing your AI copilot. Now, when I say AI, I'm not talking about some robot that's going to replace your creativity. No way. Think of it more like your creative copilot, an amazing tool that's here to amplify your output and your big ideas. And this is the key concept, this idea of a force multiplier. Look, AI doesn't have your unique vision. It doesn't have your personal touch or your client relationships. But what it can do is execute your ideas at an incredible speed, which frees you up to do the high-level strategic work that only you can do. And here's where it gets fun. Check this out. Instead of just showing your clients some generic images from Pinterest, you can use AI to generate super specific concept art. I'm talking about showing them an image of their venue with their exact color palette and their dream floral arrangements. For client presentations, it's an absolute game changer. But it's not just for pretty pictures. Look at this prompt. You can take that dense, confusing legal jargon from a vendor contract and have an AI instantly rewrite it into a simple summary for your client. This saves you a ton of time, and you know what? It makes you look incredibly sharp and on top of things. Now for number 3, automation. This is where you get a virtual assistant that works for you 24/7 and never ever asks for a coffee break. Automation is basically the glue that connects all your different software tools. The rule is simple. If task A always leads to task B, then it should be automated, period. And this table right here, this is where the magic really happens. Just look at these workflows. A new lead fills out your form, and boom, it automatically creates a contact in your CRM and sends them a beautiful reply with your portfolio. A client signs a contract, and bam, an invoice is automatically generated and sent. We're not just saving a few seconds here. We're building a sleek, professional system that works for you even when you're sleeping. Let's just pause on that first one for a second. 0-minute response time? I mean, think about the impression that makes on a potential client. While your competition is still sifting through their inbox, your automated system has already wowed them, engaged with them, and shown them you're a total pro. Okay, moving on to our 4th section. Here's the thing. Even if your event is 100% in person, the way you manage it is now digital. It just is. So to really master the modern event, you absolutely have to master this hybrid digital infrastructure. So what does that actually look like? Well, it could be a digital concierge, a simple automated text message system that can instantly answer questions like, "Where do I park?" or "What's the Wi-Fi password?" Or it could be on-site tech like QR code check-ins that instantly sync with your master guest list in real time. No more clipboards. So why does all that tech matter? Because it gives you something that corporate clients absolutely love: real-time attendance data. Being able to go back to your client and report exactly who checked in and at what time, that is a powerful, high-value deliverable that puts you leagues ahead of the competition. And that brings us to our final and, you know what, maybe the most important pillar: building trust through top-notch security. In this day and age, handling client data isn't just some boring administrative task. It's a core part of your service, and it is a massive competitive advantage. I mean, think about it. As an event planner, you handle incredibly sensitive information: people's home addresses, their dietary restrictions, maybe even confidential corporate strategies. This means using a data vault approach with things like encrypted password managers. Well, it's just non-negotiable. And it means making sure every tool you use is compliant with data protection laws. And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? This isn't something you hide in the fine print. This is a selling point. When you can look a high-end client right in the eye and confidently tell them their data is handled with enterprise-grade security, you build a level of trust that most planners just can't compete with. So, where do you start? Here's your action plan, your domination checklist. First, I want you to audit your workflow and just find your 3 most annoying repetitive tasks. Second, pick one of them and set up an automation for it this week. Third, for your very next pitch, use AI to help you create a stunning concept deck. And finally, get that little black book of vendors out of a notebook and into a central searchable database. Look, the tools and the systems are all out there right now, just waiting for you to build your own one-person powerhouse. The ability to perform like a 10-person agency is totally within your reach. So the only real question left is, what's the very first task you're going to automate?